standing in the aisle. In your seat back pocket, you will find your safety information card. Please follow along as we demonstrate some important safety features. To fasten your seatbelt, insert the flat metal end into the buckle. To adjust, pull on the strap. To release, lift up on the top of the buckle. The seatbelt should be worn well and tight across your lap. This aircraft has 8 emergency exits. There are the 2-door exits in the front, 2-door exits in the rear of the cabin. In addition, there are 4 overwing exits, 2 on each side. Each is equipped with an evacuation slide that will inflate automatically when opened. The slides at the forward and aft exit doors may be used as rafts. Red and white signs overhead, lights on the floor will lead to all exits. Take a moment to locate your nearest exit, keeping in mind it may be behind you. And in the event of an emergency evacuation, please leave behind all carry-on belongings. Should there be a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen masks will drop above your seat and inside all lavatories. Immediately pull down on the mask to start the flow of oxygen. Place the cup then over both your mouth and nose, secure with the elastic band. The mask may be adjusted by pulling on the tabs on either side. Please adjust your own mask first before assisting others. Keep in mind, although oxygen is flowing, the bag may not always fully inflate. In the event of a water evacuation, remove the life vest from underneath your seat when instructed to do so by a crew member. Pull the red strap to open the container and remove the pouch. Place the vest over your head, wrap the strap around your waist, insert the end into the buckle. Pull on the strap to tighten, and once outside the aircraft, pull down sharply on the tab or blow into the tube near your shoulder to inflate the vest. The vest is also equipped with a water-activated light. Location and use of life vests for small children may be found in the safety card. An additional life raft is located in an overhead bin. Location and instructions for the use of the life raft may be found in your safety card. Also in the safety card, you will find instructions for the use of escape lines. Escape lines are used during a water evacuation. They are located mid-cabin in a marked overhead bin. Fasten the seatbelt and no smoking signs are located throughout the cabin. They must be observed at all times while illuminated. A reminder, this is a non-smoking flight. Smoking is not permitted. That does include the use of e-cigarettes and vape pens. And for your convenience, we have 3 lavatories on board. We have 1 up front, 2 in the back. All 3 are equipped with smoke detectors. If we have families today that are traveling with little ones, if needed, there are 2 children.
Espetacular, o sorriso dessa princesa é de impressionar. Quando arrasto ela pra tretar, não chama as amigas, só ela dá conta. Pra 3 ela senta, mais 3 ela mama. Então eu, tu, nós bota nela. O bonde chegou.
Mic check, mic check, mic check. What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. How you doing? An absolute pleasure to be back. Mic check, mic check. Okay. An absolute pleasure to be back on a Friday with all of my folks here. Welcome, rumble.com/American Anchor Baby, punchy.tv/Anchor Baby, and of course my people here on YouTube. Should be a nice chill Friday with the folks.
Ela senta, mais três ela mama. Então eu, tu, nós bota nela. O bonde chegou, as predador de perereca. Sapeca, pepeca, divide essa tcheca. Vai sentar com força pros meninos da favela então.
What is up, man? Holy, what a Friday, what a week back. It's fun to be in the chair again with all of you, my people here. Happy Friday. Maduro, we got Maduro dancing. We got the Western Hemisphere being conquered. Gunboats on the seas dominating the Western Hemisphere. And we're here with the people on Friday. Can we fly to Venezuela now? That's not a bad idea. But, you know, we're trying to get out of there, right? Like, unless we got to send some people in, you know? So, what's up, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. What's up, Big Bump? Nice to see you. Cloud Bops, Francisco, Birdie Bow Bryant with the super chat. Mods in the chat on your best behavior. Says you the man, my friend. Back at you, Birdie Bow Bryant. Thank you. Nice to see you on a Friday. Mexican Michael. You like the little Mexican Michael bop there? Little Brasileño. Mexican, more like Brasileño Michael. Michael Brasileño. Now, just enjoy that tune. Don't think too hard on the tune that we just heard. Just don't investigate it or heck, try and translate it. Avoid translating, looking up the lyrics or anything like that. Just enjoy the tune as like a fun, family-friendly, as long as there's no Brazilians there, or anybody who speaks Portuguese, family-friendly, fun song for the folks, okay? Okay? So don't think too hard on it. How you doing, Stuart? Welcome. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Francisco. What's up, cuz? Awesome. Thank you, Alias. Thank you, everybody. So we got a nice chill Friday to get into here. Number of things to get into. So let's get situated here. The Discord's open if you want to talk. I'm in the one at a time channel. Oh, and you know this number here is not going to work today. So if you want to talk to me, jump into the Discord. It's in the description and we can talk. So amazing. Nice to be back. Yeah, nice. Thank you so much. Right on. Happy Friday, everybody. Kevin, how you doing? Kilo. Truck. We got Truck. Where's Sparkplug? We got Truck. All we need is Sparkplug. And, of course, all your super chats and all that. Thanks for the support, everybody. Shout out Sion. Starting it off. buymeacoffee.com/anchorbaby. Sion, what's up? Shout out to you, Sion. You're enjoying the coffee. You're buying me coffees and enjoying the coffee, I see. The white people protesting ICE, are they lazy and they want to keep the illegals to just keep working for them? Or they just have such deep hatred for their own country? Yeah, no, it's not that sophisticated. Some Sion are a little, call it more sophisticated. Where they, you know, it's funny for that. I'm about to use the word sophisticated for someone like Jasmine Crockett, but she's an example that comes to mind. Remember when she was out there saying to the blacks, we keep those immigrants. We need them to do jobs that we don't want to do. We're done picking cotton. There's like no black people pick cotton. In fact, maybe they should pick cotton. It'd be good work. It'd be like good, solid work. Creating, producing, and learning and being responsible. But see, there are some, it does signify a thinking, Sion. That Jasmine Crockett would say something like that. Personally, I think she's just, someone told her to say that. But see, the people behind Jasmine Crockett, and you better believe there are, and the intellectual underpinnings of these political people, and there's different like of like political coalitions, is that. It is a labor issue. Immigration, and as it stands now, it is a labor thing. So, no, Sion, I think those out there protesting are the dumb, useful idiots. For those that do think a little bit on this and say, we need them as a slave labor class, but really also a voting contingent. So, thank you for your coffee, though, Sion. Shout out to you. Happy New Year. Very nice. How you doing, Coconut, with the super chats? You guys are coming in with the generosity. Very nice. Very, very nice. Nick's cousin. That's my cousin. I swear it's my cousin everywhere. Am I Nicolasito? Nicolas Maduro's son? The prince? Just call me the prince. Just call me Nicolasito. I'm on the cut, though. I'm cutting right now, so I don't think I will. Look, I'm already more, a little thinner in the face. So, we're cutting right now. Call me the exiled prince. Nicolasito Maduro, the little Nicholas. Not Nicholas the daddy. We have him in custody. And I think we got this guy in custody too. And in mama. You all look the same. Incredible. I do see my cousins everywhere, I gotta say. But things have been pretty gangsta lately, no? Call it heating up. Some people can't handle the heat. Some people are getting scared. They're like, no. No, don't heat up. It's a tragedy. Trump's like, she got what she deserved. He didn't quite say that. She was agitating. Paid protester. All the people that get it aren't afraid right now. No, calm down. Don't riot. I love to see it. Some strength coming from. We need that. And so Trump has been pretty gangsta. Maduro, Venezuela. And it's early on with this ICE thing. Will they riot? Will Minneapolis burn like George Floyd? Boy, it's a different term. It's a slightly different Trump, maybe. So pretty gangsta. I mean, we'll get into some things here, but some are showing weakness already. Some are buckling under the pressure already. Tucker Carlson blasts conservative response to Renee Gooddeath. More on that in a minute. What's up, Brian? How you doing? Birdie Bound Brian in the scene, in the house.
I'm doing well, Nick. Good to see you up here on this Friday.
Yeah. Pleasure, sir.
Doing well?
All is well.
Pleasure here, man. Hey, I just had to hop in real quick, man. You were talking about how things are getting gangster. I'm here to say I like it myself, because I've been watching you and Hake and everybody else talk about it all week, and I agree with what you said earlier about how it's not really having the vibes that things are gonna kick off like the George Floyd case was. And I think that's a testament to Trump, man. All I see right now is a bunch of people out here crying about nothing, and that's all it's gonna be, is a bunch of people crying. Eventually it's just gonna fizzle out because Donald Trump got things on lock.
Man, it's early, but it feels like that. They're like withholding info from Minneapolis. They're like, you can't investigate Ish. Get out of here. Agents are pushing people on the ground. They're quick on the social media, destroying the narrative. Look at this angle. Look at that angle.
Yep. I'm seeing a lot of that too. I have been pointing that out to a lot of people too. I don't know if you've noticed that, but the media it's literally they have one playbook. It's literally the exact same thing that they did with George Floyd, which is they show
Yep.
you this one little thing that they want you to see, and if they can get you to be emotional in any type of way about it, you'll jump at whatever narrative they throw out there. But it's not. I don't see it being anywhere near what the George Floyd thing was like at all. I think it's gonna fizzle out, and I think everything's gonna get right back to business.
I sure hope so. You know, when
I
we're
would
watching that, but I think so. That's my vibe. That's my prediction.
for sure. I wanted to ask you what you thought about the guest from the Fallen State today.
That was great. It was good to see Jesse kind of talk to someone and do kind of like the stuff he talks about a lot, like his kind of like call it a rerun, but that's not what I'm trying to say. And it's just it's always it's funny. It's the same thing, but it's always so fresh. And then there's still people that think like that, and they're just way too old, way too big to be so weak about like, and so into the woman like that.
Yeah,
What'd you
I
think?
agree with you. It is. I agree with what you said there about how it's kind of the rerun sounded bad to you, but it's really what it is. It's the same. It's the same thing, man. But it's so amazing what comes of it, and I actually enjoy watching it because I notice something different almost every time. I notice the little ways that Satan tries to pretend, it's in other people in the say. Because the first question on the hot seat, I'm thinking about the first question on the hot seat today was Jesus white or black?
Yeah.
That was the question he asked him. And I know black people, man, and I could almost guarantee you that guy believes that he would say that Jesus was black. But they're the type of people that wicked spirit is the type of thing that will just say whatever he is. But if a white person was to say, "Oh, well, Jesus was black," they'll love it for you to go along with that lie that they really have on the inside.
So true. Yeah, he had like the same. He had like such a what's the word, like the most sanitized, accepted response on everything. But it's funny how it almost cracked when it's like, "Well, do you have a female coach for your team though?" He's like a football player, right?
Right.
And he's like, I wish I would have wanted to even go further. Ask him like, "Can you name?" It's like because he was on the well, if she has the merit, if she can make me a better football player, help us win, then so be it. And I'm like, okay, name one female coach you would have as right now.
Can't do it, yeah.
That exists that you would have as your coach.
That's so funny. That would have been a good question. He would have been stumped right there. Aha!
Ah,
Got him.
no, I mean, I love the bread and butter here because Jesse's been trying to reach, and they got into several topics, not really just the black thing, but you could tell he was into it. And Jesse's been trying to reach black people in such a way for so many years, but it's just so true what he says that it's gone way beyond. And I'm here, this anchor baby, right? I'm like an anchor baby. We only spoke Spanish at home. My mom's like more of like a nicer lady. And I'm listening to Jesse talk to black people about their life and their family and just how they think. And I'm like, wow, that's my family. That's so true. It woke me up.
Yep.
It sent me on the path.
Same here, man. Same here. And it's to say when you just said like how Jesse says it's too far gone. That's why we see it so like, prevalent and almost like it's irreversible for the most part with most people. I personally like I see how clear it is, like clear as day that it is, and how really for me it always was there, like it was always visible. It's almost like I just didn't know what I was looking at. And so I think it's just a simple fact of I think black people are cursed.
Curse.
I think they're cursed. They're cursed, man. I think they're just like well maybe that is as Jesse said, it's so far gone. It's like, well, crap, because most black people are blind. So,
And
like,
it has its own. It might have its own character, and for that reason, it must maybe be called out uniquely. Black people do this.
Well, I think.
But put it like
so
this.
I think that,
Please
I think
finish
it
your
does-
state. Finish
oh,
your
sorry.
thought. Yeah, finish your thought. Go ahead.
No, well, I was finished, but I like what you just said. I do think that it is unique, but I think it's only unique because black people have been given things in America.
Yes, it
You
has
know?
its like own story, and
Yeah.
I think you can approach it as such. But put it like this: don't you think everyone's like beyond? What's the word? Beyond saving in a sense, like why people are so messed. They're so like into like you call it racism, and it's like boom, fine, take my country, destroy us. Latinos, like whatever. I have no.
Every
I'm trying.
every
I'm
I,
trying to
it's,
come. I
no,
don't want to just try and come up with something for everybody, but you follow what I'm saying, right? Like
totally.
everyone's so far gone. They're like far gone.
Yeah. And that's to your point. That's what you were saying, which I like. You're saying like that's like my family, and it's so true. But I think the reason is that there is a uniqueness about black people, and I
Yeah.
think it's because of the position that they've been falsely given through generations and so on and so forth. That's the depth of
Oh
it.
yeah.
It's like the depth of the lie is
Oh yeah.
insane at this point.
It's institutionalized, right? It's like you have
Yeah.
the institutions giving blacks in America and the world a unique justification for anger. They literally tell them that you are justified. You are be angry because of XYZ that was done unto you.
Yeah. And the weak white women telling them they deserve it.
And that really is unique. Like not many have that. I mean, it seems like every minority these days wants it and is clamoring for their little ism, but they really have had that for decades. A unique kind of like, well, it's because of say racism, slavery, etc.
Yeah.
But hey, that's blaming, huh? That's not unique.
Some people would argue that they're not alone in that though. Some people would say that the Jews are also a part of that.
They say this too, right? And it's like pretty much every group but whites has some form of like coalition internally, externally that can like cleave them from whites in some way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm. Mess. But all right, Nick. I don't want to
Man,
take up too much time.
No problem, man.
I just
Nice to
wanted
hear from you.
I really just wanted to speak with you, man. It's good to hear from you.
Happy New
And
Year,
I hope you're
sir.
having a same to you. I hope you're having an amazing one so far.
Big time.
Later,
Sir,
bro. Enjoy the show.
Take care. Take care. Take care. What a mess. We buckling under the pressure already? Tucker Carlson blasts conservative response to Renee Gooddeath. He blasted the response, asking why Republicans aren't viewing the tragedy through a human lens. A stark contrast from other conservatives following the Wednesday shooting by an ICE officer in Minneapolis. I love Tucker, but you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. Carlson, whose reaction was shared in a newsletter to his subscribers, called Good's death a human tragedy. The 37-year-old, the commentator wrote that the 37-year-old mother likely has different immigration views from him. But that shouldn't matter. Her death is a tragedy, regardless of her partisan affiliations, ideological beliefs, or who pulled the trigger. A woman got shot in the face. And then this is apparently in a newsletter. He didn't say it, but they stressed this in the article. Look, they put it in italics. A woman got shot in the face. Wake up. A female. The divine feminine got shot in the face. He compared the conservative response to the left-wing reaction to Charlie Kirk's killing. Tucker, in your comparison, did you think to yourself that there was a bit of a different? I know, look, we saw videos of the conservatives in a prayer vigil. Remember, they were holding candles for Charlie Kirk. The moment someone came up to them and pissed them off, they attacked them. So they have the same spirit. That being said, let's speak on things accurately. Like I was just with Bertie Bound Brian. Yeah, the spirit is evil. But let's speak on things accurately. Blacks they've been justified through the institutions, etc. Let's speak on things accurately. They were laughing in the street. In the moment, in the very crowd where Charlie Kirk was shot. And his neck blew up and there was blood everywhere. Some guy stands up, with long hair, now claims he was not at all what you thought it was, but starts cheering the moment it happened. Do you remember that? In a Wednesday statement on X, Vice President J.D. Vance agreed with Carlson that Good's death was a tragedy. Another sucker. J.D. Vance. I mean, I guess, did Trump call it a tragedy too? But didn't Trump say something different? Didn't he say it was tragic that the guy almost got run over? What did he say? I don't quite believe that Trump would say it like JD and Tucker here. I just don't believe it, but this is Tucker right now. But, you know, JD says it's a tragedy, but a tragedy of her own making. All right, buddy. You know, it's hard to pin you down. But, okay, many members of the Republican Party, including Trump, have defended ICE, saying that Good behaved horribly and called it a terrible scene. That's what he said. He said it was a terrible scene. Yeah, a terrible scene. But tragic. Renee Good was murdered. Republicans acting as if it's okay, Jasmine Crockett said. You see, Tucker, man, I don't know. It makes me think of, I mean, here's another one. It was a good shoot. A tragic but good shoot.
Singular piece of evidence.
John Solomon. I don't know who this is, but I gather he's a Republican conservative.
That's going to be essential to this review. And all the folks that I talked to in the last 24 hours who've investigated officer-involved shooting for decades of experience say that the most important piece of evidence is the bullet hole from the first shot fired by the ICE officer is directly in the front windshield.
Pretty good point.
What does that mean? Why is that significant? It means the officer had to be in front of the car as it was peeling away, and he was in danger. And I think that when those
that bullet hole is straight on.
Three elements are reviewed, all of the politics are stripped away. You have a person that was driving at an ICE agent after being lawfully instructed to stop and get out of the car. That's going to make this, according to all the experts I talked to, a legitimate, tragic, but legitimately legal shooting.
Tragic though. A tragic but legitimate shooting. But tragic. You know, you can't have, what's the word here? I want to say weakness, but it's more than that. You're like totally wrong in your thinking here. In the framing. You're feeling bad for her is doing nothing. And it's only, in fact, diluting the truth of the situation. And the only reason you're diluting the truth of the situation is because of the crowd. The truth of the situation is she put herself in that situation. She blocked the road for several minutes while her wife got out of the vehicle to film the whole thing. She then decided to, upon lawful commands, drive off. And not only that, in the direction of an officer, even if it was meant to be, I'm leaving. You can't do that. Number one, hits the officer. Officer can't see the wheel. Where's the wheel going? Oh, never mind. She's not going after me. She's not going after me. People are saying he could have jumped out of the way. He didn't have to shoot her. It was her. She put herself there. And there is fresh footage too. We'll get into all that. I see you guys mentioning it. I got that on the docket for you. Makes me think of the conversation we were having earlier on the JLP show, you know, about should a father fight for his children? You know, this mother should he move? Let's say move. He gave examples and situations, you know, hypotheticals like, let's say they move away. Should you move closer to them in this pursuit of this fight to be close to the children, to be a figure, to have time and a presence in their life. It's a controversial topic. And I was saying, yeah, I mean, it's funny he brought that up right after asking about enduring in life, and what advice we'd give to someone who came up to us asking about their this hypothetical situation. And I was saying, you really can't play her game. You can't play her frame here. Maybe in a different America that I'm not familiar with, that I never grew up in and never existed in, where the man is not automatically evil in the courts and the systems against him. Maybe that would be different. But as it stands, you are forced to play her game, and her game is to destroy the children to get to you. So why play that game? What a terrible game to play. What a terrible tug of war to play to just rip the kid in half. Instead, right, don't destroy the child for this fight that's already happening. Don't have the tug of war. Let go, because this person is dedicated, has decided to play that tug of war, and they will pull till the child is ripped in half. So why pull with them? And then so Jesse asked me, so do you recommend completely forgetting about the kids? And I was like, we talk tough. Jesse always asks the experts, and we talk tough. I'm like, yeah. And then he asks us the yes or no. Give us the yes or no, though. So will you just, move on from the kids? I'm like, yeah, pretty much. Basically, yeah. Maybe you could send them a letter or something. Tell them you care. And I realized, what's the point of that? The truth doesn't need to be convinced. You could just tell them the truth the chance you get and say, no, your mother's lying. I love you and I wish you well. I'm not going to fight, If that chance came up, maybe that chance will come down years down the road. But maintaining that, not 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and being convinced of not wanting to fight with evil like that, you realize that you don't give any foothold to whatever game the wife is trying to play. You shouldn't give any foothold to whatever game these people on the streets protesting this woman wants to play. And that's what you're doing by saying it was a tragedy. So Tucker, these people, I don't know what they're playing here, this little halfway thing. You didn't do anything wrong. And usually I notice that people who are hateful have to do this kind of stuff. They project their own kind of like, and I'm not particularly even mean Tucker. I don't know what's going on inside of him, but let's say they live their daily life internally like, man, F these liberals. F them, man. If I could do this to them, blah, blah, blah. And then something actually happens, like terrible. And you're like, yo, no, we're wrong for this, guys. We really are wrong for this. We should stop hating. It's like, speak for yourself, Tucker. I don't hate them. I'm not doing a hateful thing. She put herself in there. I don't want her to die. She put herself in there. I don't feel anything. I'm not like emotionally angry at anybody here. So speak for yourself here. Oh, we're wrong for that. And we are, like, the humanity is wrong for their anger. The left, the right, we see it everywhere if you're paying real attention. But yeah, this is not, you're not bringing light there. You're diluting the truth in pursuit of false social cohesion, false unity, false pride, false all that, so it's been a day, man. What's up with y'all? You guys are buckling under the pressure. I don't know if it's even pressure with Tucker. I don't know what it is. It's just mama spirit. I don't know. Social cohesion. I get this impression he really cares about that. And not in the like Trump way, but in like the old way. What the heck am I talking about? The reason I'm being so vague is because I'm ignorant. But this is a vibe I get. Social cohesion to the government class basically means don't be racist. Women, don't be misogynist. Women, we're equal. We're an open society. We gotta educate you in the schools and teach you the history of, these terrible things so that you can not be racist, and we can be cohesive, right? So I don't know. It's this impression I get. I know he's like Fox and he's been cool, and I don't have a problem with him. He's been pretty cool, but I get this like sort of, how like even conservatives, the right, the new Trump right has really kind of widened a lot. There's a lot of people in there who are really kind of pretty socially liberal and actually have pretty libertarian, if not pretty liberal roots and even thinkings. Tucker's a cool guy. I just don't get the impression that he's like, oh, I'm I think I hear him say like, oh, America, his thoughts on immigration and race, and it's like, yeah, clean it up, but legal is fine. He's kind of like Vivek with it. And if we go Vivek with it, it's America's India. So, sorry, buddy. So, yeah, these guys buckling under pressure. And she's supposed, right, feeling bad for her. The lady, which we now know, Renee Good. We're getting some info on this, on the shooter, the ICE agent, the officer. That's just Maduro. Nice. Thank you, Maduro. There he is. Apparently he's got a Filipino wife. Yo, these are George Floyd parallels. These are George Floyd bellwethers. Derek Chauvin, Asian wife. And this guy is Jonathan E. Ross, Filipino wife. Oh, that's rich. ICE agent protecting the border. Huh. ICE agent protecting the border with a brown wife. Huh. I can hear you now. Leave him alone. That's leave him alone and his his cute Filipina wife. I support it. Maybe he didn't know. Okay, and now he loves her. Okay, leave him alone. The ICE agent, okay. He's got all the leverage. Is this a power imbalance? Wait, hold on. Excuse me, I think this is a power imbalance. This is improper because of the power imbalance, because of the implication. You think she could say anything? Oh, yeah, I'll deport you. I'm going to send you back to your mama. That doesn't mean send her back to Michigan. You know what I mean? That doesn't. I'm going to send you back to your daddy. That's how this guy's talking. Oh, yeah, you keep going. I'm going to send you back to your daddy. That doesn't mean sending her back to Colorado. I don't think. But anyways, we wish them well, and he's allowed to protect the border with a brown wife, okay? Don't be ridiculous. Ross's father defended his son's decision. She hit him. He also had an officer whose arm was in the car. Yeah, remember the other guy? I love his brown wife, Albert. What are you talking about? You would never find a nicer, kinder person, the father added about his son. He's a committed, conservative Christian, a tremendous father, a tremendous husband. Tremendous. Do we give him a chin-up king? I don't know. What do we do here? Are Asians brown? Asked Mena. Well, this is like the Filipino, okay? That's like a jungle Asian. Let's be a little bit more culturally sensitive here. Okay, let's not be so ignorant. Like we're not familiar with the cultures of the world. Okay, that's a jungle Asian. Okay, class. So insensitive and like learn something. Read a book. Okay, jungle Asian. Okay, mountain Asian. Don't catch me being ignorant like that. And apparently this guy, just like 6 months prior, was apparently involved in a similar incident where he almost gets run over.
Cities is leading to even more charges.
This home security video shows a driver taking off during a traffic stop, dragging a deportation officer with him.
The exact officer in question.
New at 10, WCCO's Uba Ali walks us through this video and the political firestorm behind it.
What began as a planned federal immigration arrest took a violent turn in this quiet Bloomington neighborhood. And it was all caught on camera. According to a federal complaint, agents were executing a
The kid is my cousin?
warrant for 39-year-old
I have a curlier, but I can do that if I wanted to.
Roberto Carlos Munoz. They say Munoz entered the country unlawfully, and he also pled guilty to fourth-degree criminal sexual conduct back in 2023 for abusing a minor. Tuesday morning, agents pulled him over. Court documents say he repeatedly refused to comply before a federal agent took out his spring-loaded window punch with his right hand and broke the driver's side rear window. These images show the officer's hand in the vehicle. In this video,
Is the video loud enough for y'all? Let's try with boosted volume. Tell me what you guys think.
you can see the driver take off with the agent hanging from the car, dragging him.
Hanging from the car.
In this video,
Coulda killed
you can
him.
see the driver take off with the agent hanging from the car, dragging him 300 feet through front yards.
That guy's
These
lucky to be
graphic
alive.
images show the aftermath. A bloody agent who needed 33 stitches for his significant cuts. And now a political battle with a top Homeland Security official criticizing Governor Tim Walz, posting on X, instead of comparing ICE law enforcement to the Gestapo, Walz should be thanking our brave law enforcement. The Department of Justice says a request for Munoz to be held after that 2022
Kim Jong undocumented. Yeah, that's a solid haircut, my dude.
arrest was, quote, not honored by local authorities, and Munoz was released. Tonight,
What the? Who's that? Uba Ali. I'm sure you're a nice lady, Uba Ali. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just incensed by the political climate. Okay, it's turned me into a racist. Okay, Uba Ali. Where's John? Sorry, that was a separate side note. Yeah, the guy was involved in a previous thing. He almost got run over. By this insane person. Like, she was an angry protester type person out there for that. Right? The wife confirming this, like, she felt guilty. She pushed her to come down here. You know, and this was right around when the media was kind of pushing this angle of she was just there, you know, protesting, supporting neighbors, making it sound like she's just like, what, came out of her house? That's my neighbor. I'm just coming out. I live here. No, they went there specifically to impede federal law enforcement, which the country voted for. And the president is working on. You can just stop the president. That's crazy. We can't. So and now it's come out since. There's full on video of her coming to do just that. They call it the 4 minutes that she just turned her car to just impede federal law enforcement. Just sitting there with her car. 4 minutes, just sitting there with a big old grin, acting like, what? What am I doing? I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. What? I'm not touching you. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, what? I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. I think it's a game. And so that's since come out for. He apparently blocked the road for 4 minutes. And you know, we in fact have a brand new angle of this shooting, okay? Now, it's not like super graphic, but I do want to watch this with you guys. It's a fascinating angle. Apparently, the officer, this Jonathan Ross, I believe was his name. Forget his name. Ross is his last name for sure. Actually had his cell phone out. He was actually filming with his cell phone. And it's a fascinating little angle we can watch together. We see her attitude. We see this like, I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. Like hand up, like she's not doing that physically, but kind of energy and vibe she has there. Until it finally kind of starts blowing up in her face. The agents are going after her door, telling her to get out. She's like, I didn't mean it. And then you think you just drive off from an arrest or something like that. Then you could just go up to the edge and be like, okay, this is where I stop. Okay, I wanted her to agitate, but I'm not getting arrested. You don't get to choose. And it turns into this. There's the vehicle blocking. She's yelling at him. She's just sitting there. Now she's backing up. You see that she's backing up.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you.
She's like, I don't know what she's saying there, but we do clearly hear her say, just with this smile on her face, like she's not doing anything here. Like, I'm not mad at you. Like the officer's in the wrong.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. Show your face.
And this is the wife. So the officer comes to the back to film the license plate. The wife who just got out of the vehicle to film this whole little charade now is talking to the Ross, the officer with the camera.
That's okay. We don't change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine.
See, these people are really mad that officers have license plates that change and are in masks. And you got this refrain from the Democrats and the left right now. They're like, real officers don't operate in masks, and they're calling it illegal. And they're promising to arrest federal agents in masks, saying that that's a crime. In Philly and other places, we'll get into that. It's insane. But yeah, that's what her gripe is about. And she thinks she can block a road like this.
Same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former fucking veteran. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car.
Out of the car, they're telling her. Out of the car.
Get out of the car.
Whoa! Clear as day, folks. Clear as day. Look at that. Look at that.
I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Super combative. Just like you're fat. Go eat food, you fatty.
Get out of the fucking car.
And now they're like, okay, we're done with her. Get out of the car. She thinks she could get out of this.
Get out of the car.
Watch again. And that's how you forfeit your life. All agitated and angry with a point to prove. That's how you forfeit your life, okay? It's not a tragedy to feel bad for her about. You don't wish it on people. But let's call it what it is, right? She forfeited her life. And people like this forfeit their life kind of like a long time ago. You have to imagine what happened. Her husband died. I don't know what happened there. And you got to understand what I'm saying here. That she was out here with this energy, so in such a antisocial way, with such anger towards officers with guns. The fact that she went to marry a woman after her normal, like, male marriage with a man and a woman. You know, I get this impression that she really has given up, so to speak. You know, given into whatever has been going on inside her, thinking that this is like, that this was the answer. Marrying this person was the answer. You know, I really get this impression that she's gone off the deep end, antisocial. This is very antisocial behavior. Look, and she really forfeited her life a long time ago. Doesn't care about her kids. The fact that she's out here, she doesn't care about being a mother. She doesn't care about her 6-year-old. The mother of that child died a long time ago. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know exactly when, but it died some time ago. And she's been out here with a death sentence for God knows how long. And that's how everybody is with anger. You're out in the world with a death sentence, asking for it. You're out there asking for it. And life gives it to you. The devil gives it to you.
Out of the fucking car.
You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out out of the fucking car. Get out of the car.
Oh!
And that's the end of her life. Walking, ticking time bombs. You guys get it. And, you know, you can see her how she, you know, it's these people, these kinds of people, they don't, I don't know, they just, maybe they've never been arrested. They just live in a different world where, I don't know, were you raised in a home of no consequences? Were you raised in a home of no decorum and no consequences? Have you ever, right? Like, cause and effect, punishment for bad behavior. Has that ever happened to you? But that's it with that, you know. That's pretty much it with that. You're saying 350,000 in the GoFundMe for this? The GoFundMe for the family, you know, the family didn't die. Funerals are not $350,000. But you know, that's how GoFundMe works, right? What a mess. Yeah, not serious people. NBA team, they're holding moments of silence.
To lose weight, this is going to sound completely wild, but I promise it's 100% real.
It's a shame so many dogs slow down.
What are these like boomer ads?
Simple eggshell ritual
these scams. These are like scams that are directed to boomers.
Let's join our public address announcer, Jedediah Jones.
We're saddened by the tragedy that occurred yesterday in our Minneapolis community in the loss of Renee Nicole Good. Our thoughts are with her family and everyone affected, and our hearts are with our community as we hope for healing and unity during this challenging time. Please join us in a moment of silence.
Baba booey, baba booey. No. It's supposed to be a moment of silence. Wait, did they yell? He said, go home ice.
Thank you.
Thank you. You failed the test. Sir, in seat E6, your citizenship has been revoked. Why does the voice sound like that? It sounds like a joke. Thank you. This is the voice of God.
And our hearts are with our community as
our hearts with our community.
We hope for healing.
Yeah, woke NBA, big bump. Yeah, there's an ideological capture of this institution, and it's very obvious the what it is. Okay, it's like who's running the NBA? It's like the FBI. Seriously.
Unity during this challenging time. Please join us.
Please join us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Citizen in seat E6. Your citizenship has been overturned.
Standing and remove your caps.
Oh, gosh.
Joining us to perform tonight's national anthem, they've sung with Beyonce, are featured on Zac Brown Band's latest project.
That guy's putting on that voice.
And just wrapped one of the biggest tours of 2025 alongside.
Just wrapped one of the biggest tours of 2025.
Kelly Rowland, Brandy, and Monica. Please welcome the voice.
Boy, you got lip gloss on your lips.
Season 26 contestant.
Boy, that ain't Vaseline. If it was a little Vaseline, I'd understand, you know. I don't think there's Vaseline on them lips, boy.
Please welcome the voice, season 26 contestant, Cameron Wright.
I bet you that boy can sing though.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright
That's them lips is purple.
stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And
All right. That's purple lipstick. That's purple lipstick. Cameron Wright looking. Is this someone you guys know? Cameron Wright. Them lips purple. Those lips is burgundy. He wasn't born with those lips. Why is Nick speaking like an escaped slave?
the bombs bore, stinging air.
His mama said he has a voice of an angel. All right, amazing. NBA doing what they do, but how can you like spend money at those things? I get it. I guess I get it. People are into what they're into. Like I like the sport. You know, people love the sport. I don't know. There's something so basic about some certain sports, right? Like, how do we move this ball around? How do we physically move this ball around and strategically make this happen? And over many, many, many years, we've refined that into like something like to levels that you didn't know, the people who created the game didn't think of. There's something so boy about that. That's totally boy thinking. How did they take a sport, right, and capture the sport? Because that's what they love, right? It's like you got all this extra stuff. It's the fanfare and the graphics, and it's like NBA, all this money, and it's like, but the content is the sport. People love how the movement of this ball around this game. They're literally, humanity loves their games. Who captured a whole sport like that? You know what I mean? Like, what else is the explanation to what we just saw there? Which is, other than literally like a group of like Gotham City level villains in a round table, like, how do we make them think different? What do they love? What do they love? They love this ball game. Yes. Let's do it. Let's start there. What else is that? Like literally, we need to change how they think. They love this. Oh, look at this. This is hundreds of years old. Let's just capture this and make Colin Kaepernick and Gay and everything. Just like turn that up to 11. They love the sport though. You know, I'm just saying, like, what else is there? Like, what other explanation is there? Then like a group of people are like, how do we need to change how people think. Loud, but nice anthem. I like it. Great work there. Hey, Birdie Bow Brian, back-to-back Super Chats. Let me read some of this. Thank you, Ergalunas, for your generosity. Mr. Popo got some pipes. Lol, them lips is purple, says Birdie Bow Brian. Mr. Popo is crazy. Mr. Popo is crazy. You know, since we just got finished talking about social unrest. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, so, you know, social unrest, it's kind of getting spicy over there in Iran in a real way. Hold on. I got something here for you. Let's check in on Iran. Let's go to Iran for a second. Iran don't want no smoke. What to know about the protests? Let's see if we get some footage first, actually. It was looking very fiery on X. Oh yeah, that's bigger than what's going on here. That looks like a lot of people. Iran! Iran! Wow, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people, mate. You see, this is significant because for a number of reasons. But you might remember, not too long ago, Iran was protesting in the streets in a big way. If you remember, in 2022, you might remember a little name, Mahsa Amini. Mahsa Amini. You see, the story goes that Mahsa Amini, a Kurdish Iranian woman, died in a hospital under suspicious circumstances. See, they say that in an interaction with law enforcement, she was left beaten and with a cerebral hemorrhage. She ended up dying in the hospital. It kicked off huge protests that were internationally broadcast, and it was billed as like a human rights thing, a woman's rights thing. It became known as the Woman Life Freedom Movement. She was 22 when she died, and allegedly she violated some mandatory hijab law, and she ended up dying. Okay. It's hard to even know exactly, but those are the allegations. She flouted this law, and it's the law over there. It's the law. But for whatever thing, and then she did end up dying. It's hard to know really the color and character of a lot of these things. But did protest a whole bunch. So haven't quite seen anything like that since. They're saying that the protests happening now are very much akin to those, as in terms of size and scope. Masa Amini's death and the riots and protests that ensued after that, showed that there is some underlying root, like domestic grievance against the Islamic Republic to some way, shape, or form, for better or for worse. But there seems to be some sort of domestic discontent with the Republic. I mean, there were talks even back then of foreign influence to these kinds of things, and I really don't know personally. I do know that the international community supported the woman life freedom movement, with politicians even in America making pro-statements to such a thing. And, that's an interesting thing to just think about. As this week we talked a little bit about the international community, especially as a arm of state building abroad. And so many are wondering, is this some of the same? It's hard to say. That being said, it looks like Trump has even made some form of a statement, actually saying that the U.S., what it looks like, if I'm understanding the statement correctly, that the U.S. is poised to possibly protect and support those Iranian protesters, that it should violence befall them by the state, by the Iranian supreme ruler and the Islamic Republic government, right? I want to confirm that, because it's an interesting statement, no? I want to confirm such a statement because it really is an interesting, poignant one, because we're talking about a big nation. We're talking about Iran. It's not a joke. They're armed, nuclear power, or at least could be, should they want to. They boast a huge population that is, at least a huge bunch of them, really are very zealous over their supreme leader, the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. And that's essentially, they call it a theocracy, the type of leadership and government emplaced by the Shia Islamists in power. Okay. Of which the representative is their supreme leader, the Ayatollah. They do have like a president and stuff like that, and in this is a country of about, it's like the 17th largest country in the world, a population of around 90 million, and they got that oil money, they got the bombs, and what's this? What is this song? What's going on? I didn't play this, but these Brazilians are getting funky with their remixes. É muito brasileiro. Okay. I mean, that's just a situation with Iran a little bit. And again, we're confirming Trump's statements here. Excuse me. Because here it is. U.S. President Donald Trump is treading carefully around the issue of mass protests in Iran amid some U.S. predictions that the unrest may not be widespread enough to challenge Tehran's clerical establishment. There you go. In the first lines, we know we take on, for the reader becomes aware of one of the interests of Washington, yeah, Washington has an interest in the destabilization of Iran. But it says, in recent days, Trump has warned Iranian leaders that there will be hell to pay if they crack down on the protest movement. But he has otherwise adopted a wait-and-see attitude. Right on, Mr. President. A wait-and-see attitude. You better not start shooting because we'll start shooting too, Trump told reporters at the White House. Pretty, pretty gangsta, pretty tough words. It's not something to be taken lightly. I mean, we don't want, it's a war with Iran. This doesn't necessarily mean war with Iran, but I'm just saying it's spicy, right? And what can I say? I mean, we're watching the situation. It gets this type of this whole region and all that. We've come to realize the prickliness and the stickiness of the situation. For those of us kind of not familiar with all that, ever since October 7th, we've had kind of a bit of a crash course. It's become clear to me that we do have an interest in, number one, the non-proliferation of nuclear arms, and the nuclear arms that are already proliferated, should they be in the hands of our enemies. So we definitely have a vested interest. We have allies over there, Israel, Europe. So the Washington has an interest. Now the question is proportionality and Washington's interests versus like other countries, like for example Israel being right next to Iran, and them having agendas that align with the U.S. but at times not aligning with the U.S. I became aware of this when over right before the Trump administration kind of approved this bombing of Iran recently last year, that there was all this attempt for diplomacy between Israel, Iran, and Russia and all that the Trump administration, and I think even Trump himself, signaled publicly at how frustrating the Israelis were being, actually. So we've had a bit of a crash course since October 7th. And so that's basically the topic. It's like we have an interest, but there are other interests there too. So I'm glad we got Trump. It's a thing about, we'll see how this goes, but that's where the situation stands. They're protesting over there. I haven't quite told you why they're protesting right now. I told you about Masa Amini and all that. But essentially, they're saying the protests that are happening now I just got this vague thing about Iran's economy has been under sustained pressure for years, largely as a result of U.S. and European sanctions tied to its nuclear ambitions. This is true. And especially true with the developments that happened ever since the recent bombing of Iran and all that. The strain has been compounded by regional tensions, including a 12-day war with Israel last June. There you go. A steep decline in Iran's currency has battered import-dependent businesses. In response, merchant traders, university students, and several cities have staged days of protests. You can have a theocracy, you can have a monarchy, you can have a democracy, you can have the country the founding fathers built. You can have tribes, you could have a warlord. But one thing remains true pretty much for all time, all systems of governance in society, and who gets to run what and who's the leader. When the people get pissed, and it's like, okay, when food, the basic things, right? Food, money, and safety, all things which our leadership, by the way, is fine with playing with, and pushing us further and further for their own gain and for their own agenda. These are the margins in which they play in which we exist in, they play in them. The people will revolt. You can have, if it's a theocracy and they're like, no, we love our Ayatollah, you can be sure that throughout all time, all systems, if you start running things bad enough, you can't get enough clean water, etc. These kinds of basic things start becoming quite tough to get. You got riots, you got revolts. Okay. This is the dance. This is the dance of society. That's why these liberals are so shallow in their thinking of, you can't have a king. No kings. No kings. Like thinking as if we somehow with our modern democracy have like changed the rules of reality itself, and we could play outside of them now. We have a democracy. We're so progressed. We don't need leaders. No, we're still in such a system, and it's always been checked by the public. Okay, and so that's kind of what's going on in Iran, in my opinion. Demonstrations have spread to more than 100 locations, apparently. 22 of Iran's 31 provinces. They're saying death to the dictator. Iranians, raise your voice. The government identified the man killed in the protest late Wednesday, a 21-year-old member of a militia. So, we'll see what happens with Iran, but there seems to be chaos erupting.
And I'm outside the Iranian embassy. Why am I outside the Iranian embassy?
Look at Tommy Robinson.
I'm outside the Iranian embassy because innocent...
Why is this guy... Tommy Robinson. Real name. Yeah, why is Christopher Yaxley Lennon...
Iranian... to being butchered and slaughtered at the hands of an Islamic regime.
I know he doesn't like... I know he doesn't like the Islam stuff, right? So I guess it makes
You're
sense.
watching this and you're British and you're...
We support. If you're British, support the Iranians' protest. I say I don't really know. I can't. What a LARP. I don't support or not support them. I don't even live there. I don't really know. I don't know how those people feel. I just like to talk to them. Oh, this is a classic. Holy. Why is my little DJ app is playing some Unk tunes? We got the Unk tunes right now. I need to be on a bike right now. I need to be on, you know what I'm talking about? Unk bike. I need to be on an Unk bike in LA. You ever see these Unk bikes? Bike. Is it a trike? Unk motorcycle. You know, yeah. Unk bikes. Okay, and then they're at a red stoplight. They're at a red stoplight with this plan at full blast. Oh yeah, Drewski's got a bit on it. Of course he does.
All right now.
I know. Oh yeah. This is like LA, kind of more this area, maybe a little bit more south. I see it all the time, especially on Sunday. Art knows what I'm talking about. Drewski's funny. Hi, Unk. Okay, Unk. Okay, anyways, you guys get it, but yep. Yep. What can I say?
Yeah, nigga. USA shit.
Yo, free Iran. Yo, free Iran. Yo, free Iran 2026. Mr. President, it's come to me. Fresh information has come to my desk, Mr. President. I got to ask, not only is it the moral position, Mr. President, only you could do it. We can't wait for another presidency. We can't wait for another term. Donald Trump, upon this fresh new information, we can't wait for another president. You need to liberate Iran. Yep. Mr. President, you're going to want to look at your email.
This y'all bitch ass niggas once, y'all fuck niggas didn't respond. Alright, bet. We gon' diss them niggas again. We ready for war, nigga. We been doing this shit, nigga. You heard Trump. $1,000. Heavy artillery, nigga. Ready to use that shit. Ain't no miles on our shit, nigga. IRANDONTWANT. No motherfucking smoke. Iran don't want no smoke. Iran don't want no smoke. No, Japan don't want no smoke. No, your leader just got smoked. We made that
Maduro.
Your whole country is broke.
Third world.
Bitch. United States, we rich. We always been straight. We 50 strapped up states. Y'all broke ass ain't 8. Y'all water always brown. That shit can't be drank.
Yup.
We pulling up in tanks.
Yup.
Y'all population just shrank. And we ain't scared of Russia, stupid motherfucker. What? Tell them niggas keep on talking shit. Let go. The USA gon' touch them. USA gon' rush them. Fuck 'em. The USA gon' crush them. USA gon' flush them. Fuck 'em. Korea think they tough and we gon' see who tougher. We gon' have to nuke you.
Y'all gonna die for nothing. Y'all gonna die for nothing.
Bustin' at the public. Fuck it. Iran ain't got no money. USA be out here. Trump gon' press that button. Y'all gon' die all of a sudden. Fuck it. Boom. Talk to the.
You know, this song was scarier before, like war drums. It doesn't feel like that right now. It feels gangsta, like nothing's gonna happen. They're protesting. We took the oil in Russia's face, in Putin's face. China stopped bringing the fentanyl because Trump said so. Maduro's in our custody. Trump's about to go after the cartels in Mexico. And he said missile strikes on the ground. No boats.
Y'all gotta marry before y'all touch it, man. Y'all can't be trusted. No, sir. IRANDONTWA.
It looks to me that the people are taking over certain cities that nobody thought were really possible just a few weeks ago. We're watching the situation very carefully. I've made the statement very strongly that if they start killing people like they have in the past, we will get involved. We'll be hitting them very hard where it hurts. And that doesn't mean boots on the ground, but it means hitting them very, very hard.
100,000 troopers busting at the public.
Hard where it hurts. So we don't want that to happen. There have been cases like this where President Obama totally backed down. But this is something pretty incredible that's happening in Iran. It's an amazing thing to watch. They've done a bad job. They've treated their people very badly, and now they're being paid back. So let's see what happens. We're watching it.
He has got a wait and see attitude.
Watching it very closely. So Iran.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
مامانا باباها دست بچه‌هاتون رو بگیرید.
باباتو.
و امشب شبیه که مامانا باباها دست بچه‌هاتون رو بگیرید. عموها، دایی‌ها، خاله‌ها، عمه‌ها زنگ بزنید. اگه میدونید او دختره، او پسره، یه ذره حواسش پرته.
Frick yeah, you guys get it. So it's heating up over there. How have officials reacted so far? Iranian authorities have often responded with force. Iran's government is dealing with several other crises, including water shortages, growing air pollution, apparently. They got environmentalists over there. A gnawing fear among many Iranians. President Massoud has acknowledged that he calls the public's legitimate grievances. Yeah, you better. They're ready to eat you up. Amid the turmoil, the head of the central bank stepped down. The supreme leader said the traders' complaints about the country's difficult economic situation were valid. This is the work of the enemy, Mr. Khamenei said. Protest is legitimate, but protest is different from riot. We could speak with a protester, but speaking with a rioter is pointless. A rioter must be put in their place. He's talking about law and order. Cohesion and law and order. You know, far be it from me to be a supporter of the supreme leader. But he's got a point.
and murdering people for trying to flee and for obeying a command to leave the area, and then shooting her in the face like that after she drops her kid off at school. We have to show up with guns. We have to. There's no other way around it.
Whoa. Talk about heating up domestically. Okay, I don't want egg on my face. I hope I'm right that the energy's just not there. I'll tell you if my radar starts going off. But look at this crowd. It's sparse. It's a sparse crowd. It's desperate. We got to start bringing... Right, let me just talk about crimes on camera. This is a desperate fool.
We have to show up with guns. We have to. There's no other way around
it. What a sick, fat idiot.
I don't care if I don't have a Minnesota carry permit. I'm unarmed right now.
What a sick, fat idiot who's already forfeited his life, who doesn't care about it. He clearly doesn't care about his life. Okay, he already died a while ago. Like Renee Good. Like he gave up.
Now, but this is the last time
You know, that doesn't mean you should follow him into death. Because he's like, we got to bring guns. Because this dead fat person who's already dead. And I don't wish death on him or violence. I'm saying he's dead inside spiritually. And is basically asking for death. You don't have to listen to that.
guns.
You guys get that.
We have to. There's no other way around it. I don't care if I don't have a Minnesota carry permit. I'm unarmed right now. But this is the last time I show up to face these guys without a weapon. There's no way. I got shot with a pepper
DJ Khaled? Who said DJ Khaled? DJ Khaled's crazy.
ball 5 minutes after walking in here. I never laid a finger on them. I never raised a hand to them. I've only been using my voice. The time for speaking is over. The time for niceties is over. The time for peace is over. They fired the first shot. It is time to end this shit by any means necessary.
You're talking about,
When you have a world or a country or a society or whatever that has been so lawless for so long, when you decide to be law and order, it's going to be tough, and you might have even casualties. I don't wish it, but this is why Tucker's tragic and weakness, like, guys, come on, attitude is going to kill us. It's going to dilute and destroy anything that's happening here. Because the people on the other side, you better know that they want to bring it all down. They're ready to destroy it. The America you want to hold on to or anything like that. They laughed about Charlie. They want you dead. They want you and your lifestyle. They want white people gone. They want them dead. They want them to disappear. They called my show yesterday. He said, I'm fine with disappearing. I'm fine with becoming extinct. They think it's good. So right, you can't be like, oh, you can't give in because you're not doing anything wrong. They're killing themselves. We're deciding not to die anymore, right? As society in a worldly way, right? We're gonna have law and order and stop punishing the lawful. So when the lawless hate that and forfeit their lives over it, that's just like what has to happen.
Potentially going to a dark place in this country. Do you foresee
We're there. This is the dark place. This is the dark time. We have people being sent to Salvadorian concentration camps. We got other countries being raided for their oil. We're in the dark time.
Yeah.
murked you once and we might murk your ass again. Fuck I ran, yeah, you should've ran, nigga.
There's no way out of this. There's no voting our way out of this. We can't wait till November. There's no waiting to the ballot box. We need to get to the bullet box. That's the only way. If there was another way, I'd be advocating for it. I've spoken peacefully. I've marched peacefully. I marched with Al Sharpton. I marched on Washington.
What? This guy's old. This guy's an old activist. This guy's just an old activist loser. You marched with Al Sharpton? What? Have you not had a job all these years? Unemployment looking like a good place to eat. Unemployment looking like a good restaurant to eat at.
I've been peaceful. I've acted peacefully. The time for peace is over. The time for any means necessary is right now.
I mean, that's a powerful, powerful message that you're delivering.
Powerful.
With no cause.
Anger, hate, blaming victimhood, dead people. These are dead people. Don't follow them. Don't follow them into destruction. These are dead people. We the best. We the best music. Yeah. He's talking about protesting with Al Sharpton. Like, you mean like years ago? Like, paid agitator? Yeah, I'm wondering, like, what's your employment history look like? Out of breath talking about going to war. And another one. Dude, Minnesota's really got them, huh? They really got it. They're really churning them out over there in Minnesota. Minneapolis, I think, specifically. You know, George Floyd, where he died, all that. What? Yeah, mustard on a beat. DJ Khaled. What's the one with
moment in World War II.
Now I'm on one. For free. Not this one.
Another one.
This is good too, though.
Best music. Major key. DJ Khaled.
I go on and on. Can't understand how I last so long. I must have the superpowers. Last 223,000
DJ Khaled.
Cause I'm off of CC. And I'm off the Hennessy. And like your boy from Compton said, you know this dick ain't free. I got girls that I should've made pay for it. Got girls that I should've made wait for it. I got girls that I cancel a
DJ Khaled on Hard Times.
Stay another day for it. You got attitude on nana, yo. Pussy on agua, yo. Stomach on flat, and yo. Ass on what's that?
Armed ICE agents in an unmarked vehicle detained 3 North Seattle neighbors at Evergreen Washelli Cemetery. I am furious at the federal government's abuse of power. It is unacceptable to Yesterday, armed ICE agents in an unmarked vehicle detained 3 North Seattle neighbors at Evergreen Washelli Cemetery. I am furious at the federal government's abuse of power. It is unacceptable to kidnap people who are simply going about their lives. There is no place for this in Seattle.
Kidnap.
This latest abuse comes on the heels of the murder of Renee Nicole Good in Minneapolis by federal agents. Renee was a poet, a caring neighbor,
a poet,
and a mother. Someone with a family whose community is now grieving unimaginable loss. These are not abstractions. These are real people, real families, and real harm. I know many people in our community are frightened and outraged about the way ICE and other federal enforcement agencies are being deliberately deployed across the country to intimidate and harm our communities. I am heartbroken and outraged too. This moment demands action. Here's what we're doing.
Action.
Seattle is a welcoming city. We already have laws in place that forbid our
This is Katie Wilson, mayor of Seattle.
local
Right? Yeah.
police from aiding ICE in most instances. The police will adhere to these laws. That's an important step. But it's also true that we have limited authority with regard to the actions of federal agencies. And I know that our existing laws are not enough to keep people safe. So I'm working with Police Chief Barnes, City Attorney Evans, immigrant rights groups, and local leaders to identify every possible
All people who have nothing to do with this.
legal argument, public resource, and creative tool we can use to keep the people of Seattle safe. This will take all of us. I urge you to sign up for the Washington for All ICE mobilization alerts. And don't stop there. I encourage you to raise your voices and demand that every elected official does what they can to actually protect the people who make our neighborhoods home. This is a scary situation, and situations like this are when we show ourselves who we are and what we believe. Here in Seattle, we practice solidarity.
You see what's happening here? This is the beginning of the year, and I don't know what's going to happen, but it's looking like they're gearing up for... They've been kind of mentioning it, right? As the year ended last year, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson and others, Gavin Newsom, they're like, yeah, you can't do those ICE raids here. You can't do that here. With it coming to a head, in my opinion, to a climax with Trump's comment of, if we got to arrest the mayor of Chicago, then we're going to arrest him. You know, I'll just talk right now. But I'm just glad it's like Trump handling it, because you got to have, you can't be quick. You can't be offended. You can't be, I've been challenged, I'm going to arrest you. No, all things, especially now, you have to operate perfectly. There's no room for error. And Trump has to operate, has to do all his decision making, has to be in the right spirit. You know, yes, federal law enforcement is allowed to put ICE in your town, even in Seattle, even if you don't like it. Yes, it's your constitutional right, etc. You have legal authority. But if you were Trump or J.D. Vance or the head of DHS, Kristi Noem or whatever, you better make sure that when you pull that trigger on whatever you're pulling the trigger on, that it's for the right reason. Not because this stupid woman offended you, because you thought to yourself, yeah, you think you could just say that. And so that's why I'm glad it's Trump, because, you know, because it's looking like he might have to do big actions like this. But the way I know him is that he keeps space and tries to hold off from such action if he can. Tries to work with people, because it's looking like if this is the type of talk we're going to get into this year, these people need to go to jail. The federal government needs to go into the state like they went into Venezuela, and they need to call their bluff. And this is not just her.
An agent, any ICE agent.
Philadelphia District Attorney Larry Krasner, a name I'm familiar with a little bit. I've seen this grimy little name before.
If any law enforcement agent, any ICE agent, is going to come to Philly to commit crimes, then you can get the F out of here. Because if you do that here, I will charge you with those crimes. You will be arrested. You will stand trial. You will be convicted, whether it's in state or federal court. It's my office prosecuting it. That's how the law works. And you will do your time, because Donald Trump cannot pardon you for a state court conviction. Do you hear me, ICE agents? Do you hear me, National Guard? Do you hear me, military? You're going to jail if you commit crimes in the city of Philadelphia. You will be accountable. The law applies to all of you.
He just said F now, right? He did say,
and I know.
He said forget you, right? Did he say F? F you. That's how the law works. Do you hear me?
Hear me, National Guard. Do you hear me, military? You're going to jail if you commit crimes in the city of Philadelphia.
Remember, the crime is is merely operating as an ICE agent with a mask on or something like that.
You will be accountable. The law applies to all of you. And I know
Talk to your blacks, Mr. Lawyer, says the Hake Report. Got him.
that there are honest, decent, moral law enforcement.
This is a speech for black people, right? For the black people in your state, right? I have to assume that, Philadelphia. Have you been down Kensington Ave?
Officers out.
That's all racist there, but look, it's the point stand. It's a great point. It's a great one. It's a good one, right? Talk to your blacks, Mr. Lawyer. You want to talk to Trump? Talk to your blacks.
Out there by the bushel, including in ICE. This is not for you. This is for any one of your colleagues who thinks they are above the law.
Amazing. And they've all adopted this little thing on F like Jacob Frey, the one and only photo line finish. Jacob Frey, king of the Somalis. He was a little bit more though. He actually swore. He said F. He said F the ICE agents. Get out of Minnesota. Get out of Minneapolis. And so we are going to have to. I'm going to let my friend, upon receiving this information on your actions there, Philadelphia DA, and what am I looking for here? Upon receiving your words here.
Very interesting.
Upon receiving your statements.
It's very interesting. We're going to have to come over to your house and kill you.
That's not what I meant. Hey, calm down, calm down. That was a joke. That's not what I meant. Hey, X that. This guy, boomer guy over here. Somebody tell him to calm down. All right. What a mess. But yeah, apparently this Katie Wilson is the cool mom. She's the cool mom. Did you guys ever grow up with a cool mom? Who grew up with a cool mom? Who was friends with, and your friend's mom was the cool mom? Delighted Seattle drug addicts hail cool new mayor who will let people shoot up on the streets as woman in lawless city details horrifying way she earns money for substances. Oh, Katie Wilson, she's cool. She's such a cool mayor. Who had a cool mom? Or friends with your friend had the cool mom? I had a neighbor whose mom was cool. And he was a mess. She's the cool mom. Some of you guys had a cool mom. Yeah, my mom was cool too. Not too cool. Not way too cool. We had some decorum. This is way too cool, Katie Wilson. You're way too cool here. This is on a whole other level. Calm down. Where are the men?
Needles skiing in our urban green spaces. West Queen Anne Greenbelt to Kinnear Park, to dog parks, to tennis courts, intended for walking, hiking in our urban green spaces. Where are the environmentalists? Where's the outrage? We have plastics, we have flammables, propane.
The environmentalists are supporting the homeless at all the lowest standards that are actually destroying the environment. That's where they are.
Mufflers, metals, human waste, needles, fentanyl foil. And you guys have already staged. Holy cow.
Environmentalists support Environmentalists support probably one of the number one factors, one of the number one driving forces behind ecological and environmental destruction. Low standards of self, societal standards. I'm an environmentalist. We should take the oil. Their crappy practices in Venezuela are just spewing oil everywhere, wasting it, an absolute waste of energy. I'm an environmentalist. You know what I mean?
We have people from Thurston County, Pierce County, Edmonds, Snohomish County, Issaquah, Renton,
I bet you there's a volunteer crew.
Bothell, Olympia, Mount Baker.
You know what it is. What the? Amazing, amazing, amazing. Man, there's still a lot going on, sort of. Trump going after the cartels.
And we are going to start now hitting land with regard to.
You hear about this one? You hear about this one?
We've knocked out 97% of the drugs coming in by water, and we are going to start now hitting land with regard to the cartels. The cartels are running Mexico. It's very, very sad to watch and see what's happened to that country, but the cartels are running, and they're killing 250, 300,000 people in our country every single year.
Remember, this is what he was saying about Venezuela. They're like, yeah, no, they're sending drugs, and you know that president over there, they're just making drugs, and it's just not good. So we're going to deal with drugs. We're dealing with a couple little boats. Turn the page. Actually, we run Venezuela now. I'm not like sure of anything. That's the wild card Trump is. That's the third position that Trump brings. The unwritten position. Oh, you always have two positions, right? Every situation you got this side and that side. Trump is this third position at all times. I don't know what'll happen next. But Mexico better believe that it's on the table. Do I really believe we're about to invade Mexico and like take Sheinbaum and take over that country? No. Take care, JLP Anye. But I'll tell you this: the way things stand can go no longer. All those drugs and immigrants you're sending this way, and the remittances we're sending back your way, and you better believe that's a deal. You know how you make contracts with people. You get this much money and I get this much stuff. The remittances Mexico receives and the labor America receives, and the destruction of the country that gets put on the people who care about their country, is a written/unwritten deal. Call it a shadow deal. It's not official, right? Like the trade agreements with other countries, but call that a shadow deal of world politics. And I don't think it can stand any longer.
Every single year, the drugs, it's horrible. It's devastated families. You lose a child. or a parent. I mean, parents are dying too with drugs. So we've done a really good job. We're knocking it down. The numbers are really getting to be, they're always going to be too high if you have one person, but they're going down just like the border. The border was a total mess for years. I did it the first time very quickly, and this time I did it even better because this was a bigger mess. This was a border like no other probably in the history of the world. There's never been a border like that when anybody could just walk into your country.
The border's ostensibly really closed now.
Closed. You can't come in. And nobody comes. Nobody even tries.
True. Trump announces U.S. land strikes on drug cartels in Mexico. So that means we're bombing Mexico. You understand? That means we're going to bomb Mexico.
Well, it wasn't a hard decision. Democrats wanted him and Republicans wanted him, and nobody had what it takes to get him or didn't want to get him. I don't know, something happened, but we've knocked out 97% of the drugs coming in by water, and we are going to start now hitting land with regard to the cartels. The cartels are running Mexico. It's very, very sad to watch and see what's happened to that country. But the cartels are running, and they're killing 250, 300,000 people in our country every single year. Well,
what? We're going to start now hitting land with regard to the cartels. The cartels are running Mexico. It's very sad to watch and see what happened in that country. The Mexicans going like, what? Are we about to be saving? I don't know what's going to happen, right? The president earlier boasted of his massive foreign policy powers when asked what the limits were on what the U.S. military could do in the region. He responds, my own mortality, my own morality, my own mind. It's the only thing that can stop me. That's what Trump said. My own morality, my own mind. It's the only thing that can stop me. He has accused Central American drug traffickers of killing anywhere from 250,000 to 300,000 Americans each year, blaming it on the cartel's influence in fentanyl trafficking. You have to do something with Mexico. We're going to have to do something. We'd love Mexico to do it, but they're capable of doing it. But unfortunately, the cartels are very strong in Mexico. Whoa. Let's go.
You ain't gonna come around here with a sad vibe, man. Just pack up your bags and we was up all night. When the function set, when I turned my back, you froze.
Trump spinning international blocks.
We was up all night, right when the function set. When I turned my back, you froze. I don't wanna hear nothing until you bring back everything you stole.
Bring back everything you stole.
It's unmarried again.
Let me ask you about...
Oh, yeah. So remember when I was telling you about Machado? The candidate that was running against Maria Corina Machado, the female candidate who was running against Nicolas Maduro, who was talked just poetry was written about her by Rubio and others in our government. They really like her. They in fact want her to receive the Nobel Peace Prize. Imagine that. It's like, oh yeah, that's how easy it is to win the Nobel Peace Prize. The U.S. government backs you in like regime change. And so I was mentioning this story the other day because I was trying to describe this sort of establishment position that I and how this is yet another example where Trump is kind of like his own guy. Definitely more old school. You see, Rubio in the establishment, person after person in the establishment is like, we love Machado. We want democracy and we support the international community and feminism and strong women. And that's why Machado's the best candidate to beat Maduro for a truly democratic transition. Blah, blah, blah. Trump's like not saying any of that. He's just like, we're taking the oil and things are open. We'll see what's going to happen. They better listen to us because if they don't, it's going to be bad. And when it comes to this woman, this Machado woman, the only thing he's pretty much said is like, I deserve the Nobel Peace Prize, not her. And people, they're saying, well, that's petty. That's Trump. He's so petty. That's not how he is. I don't see it as petty. I see it as the self-advocate that he's always kind of been, right? Like, why should she win this peace prize? He's the peacemaker. He's the one going around the world. He's the one that got Maduro. And so he was in this interview with Hannity, and this Nobel Peace Prize thing comes up. And he says, yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to, because apparently this woman offered it up. She's like, you know what, Mr. Trump, we can both have the prize together or something like that. And Trump's like, it's really my prize, but whatever. You know? And it's funny because he makes these comments right after bringing up the concept or the point of running out the country on merit again, which, if you know, is a bit of a dog whistle. You know, it's a pro-man, even white man, pro-man, pro-reason, pro-God, pro-man position to be merit-based. You know, the DEI, affirmative actions, all the minorities, all the POCs, everybody who has identified with this other group sweats because some part of you knows what it means. No more of the little Chumbawamba. Okay, time to get real. This country is based on merit again. And by the way, that woman down there in Venezuela should give me the Peace Prize.
This country is now based on merit again.
Let me ask you about Maria Corina Machado. I've had her on TV this week.
Yeah, she's a very nice person.
Okay, she won the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yes.
When she accepted that Peace Prize, she dedicated it to you. She said to me this week, both on TV and radio, that she wants to give the Nobel Prize, her Nobel Peace Prize, to you for liberating her country. In 2023, she won over 92% of the vote to be the leader of the opposition. Maduro kept her off the ballot. Do you have any plans to meet with her? And would you accept the Nobel Prize she wants to hand to you?
Well, I understand she's coming in next week sometime. And I look forward to saying hello to her, and I've heard that she wants to do that. That would be a great honor. I did put out 8 wars, 8 and a quarter, because, you know, Thailand and Cambodia started going at it again. So
I'll put the list up
I give
if
a
you
quarter,
want.
so it's,
Yeah.
you put the list out as a hell of a list. But I've stopped 8 wars.
Criminals of today
True say.
aren't the guys waiting.
Incredible, huh? What a Friday. What a week. What's up, Doom Jesus? Yeah, we just had a whole show, sir. And we definitely talked about the ICE thing. Yesterday, today. Hope you've been doing well, sir. Happy New Year. But yeah, what a Friday, huh? Bit of a bang this year so far already. We'll see what happens. We're going to monitor the situation. You know, Bond's back at it. It's been an amazing week. It's been a pleasure for myself to be back. We really have spent plenty of time together today, folks. We went through the super chats, more than enough topics, and even some calls. You know, for those trying to call 844 number, that will return. we've really spent quite a bit of time together today. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your Friday. Your weekend is here for many. We got ourselves a nice week under the belt. But it's not done just yet, right? Church on Sunday. You got to love it with Jesse Lee Peterson. Join me, the Hake Report, Jesse, on Sunday, as we always do. Rebuildingtheman.com/church with Jesse Lee Peterson. I'll be there. For now, though, take care of yourselves. Enjoy your weekend. Happy New Year. Thank you for welcoming me back to the show. I've had a great week. Other than that, that's our calls, super chats, and everything. Hold on here. I'm having a headphones issue. Hold on here. Well, that's strange. Well, that's strange. All right, folks. There we go. Take care. Thanks for being with me. Enjoy your weekend. See you Sunday. Bye-bye.
Espetacular, o sorriso dessa princesa é de impressionar. Quando arrasto ela pra tretar, não chama as amigas, só ela dá conta. Pra três ela senta, mais três ela mama. Então eu, tu, nós bota nela. O bonde chegou, as predadores perereca, sapeca, pepeca, divide essa tcheca. Vai sentar com forças pros meninos da favela. Então eu, tu, nós bota nela. O bonde chegou, as predadores perereca, sapeca, pepeca, divide essa tcheca. Vai sentar com forças pros meninos da favela. Então nós bota nela. O bonde chegou, as predadores perereca, sapeca, pepeca, divide essa tcheca. Vai sentar com força pros meninos da favela. Espetacular, o sorriso dessa princesa é de impressionar. Quando arrasto ela pra treta,